Welcome in, everyone, to another episode of The Second Chances. Starting with our thank yous, the first goes out to Critical Role for creating the wonderful world of Exandria that we all get to play in. Looking forward to Marquette eventually being released as its own thing. There's no word of it as far as I'm aware, but just any time now, Matt, would be cool. We would love to go to Marquette. As well as to everyone whose music we use here on the stream, including Critical Role, Hunter Rogertson, Dungeon Glitch, Reliquary Records, and Borislav Slavov. Go ahead and check out all of their music on Spotify or wherever it is that you listen to your music. Last we left the Second Chances. They have begun their trek into the Pallid Grove. Much to no one's surprise, but maybe a little surprise given the size of it, they found in the Pallid Grove the biggest portal yet on their adventure, one that they believe is close to becoming a permanent anchor in Exandria, which would mean that as far as they are aware, there would be no way to close it, and it would be the Architect's first true grip on this world. They found in a deserted logging camp in the Pallid Grove that some strange creatures had massacred everyone there because they exploded their brains after people ate them, and are now heading towards, double check the name here, Syri'laire, which is Maeve's hometown, or Nor, as they're referred to by the Pallid Elves. During this trek through the Pallid Grove, I believe it was Maeve and Roslyn both had visions, we'll call them, of what they believe to be related to the Crawling King, one of the betrayer gods, in some way.
I stepped in worms.
I saw the Crawling King.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't good.
If you want your doodles to be preserved, you need to put them in a place where I can easily grab them. God damn it. See, now I undid
Is that a
part of the
peanut?
magic path.
What was it I'm drawing
much.
off?
It was a big
I think a
dragon.
potato.
Oh, that one
Well,
over
the
there?
brown-
Yeah, that was a potato.
One was a potato.
was-
I don't know what the green one was. Sorry.
Where'd the potato go?
I deleted it because it's ugly.
Wow.
Someone redraw it. I need to see it. I missed it.
No, focus. Or else I'm throwing you
can't.
out. All right, we'll throw you into a boss fight right now.
No.
Sorry, Corey. You need to put it somewhere where it's not going to get in the way of things. My bad. Back to the adventure at hand. Second Chances. You are in the forest. You are heading towards Maeve's hometown. Maeve, you are leading the way.
Yes.
How are you currently feeling right now? What's going through Maeve's head?
She is probably having too many thoughts right now. She's a little bit of some panic. There's still the fact that the Crawling King is making imagery here, and between what Roz has also seen is making her very concerned as far as whether, like, someone who's just aware of sort of that fear and using that in the Pallid Grove, or if it means something worse. Like there's something about him here.
As a Pallid Elf, and given your history to the Crawling King, to the Moonweaver, etc., you know as well as anyone on Exandria that the gods are sealed out of the prime material plane. The Divine Gate keeps anything from the outer plane from passing through. Obviously, the inner planes, such as the elemental planes or the Shadowfell and the Feywild, are different. They're a lot closer. They bleed through in places that are weak. But Crawling King is sealed into the far realm on the far side of the Underdark. Gods obviously still have some level of influence over people, such as through their champions and whatnot. And you're right, it could also very well be someone or something that is using their knowledge of the Crawling King in this way. Doesn't necessarily mean the Crawling King himself is free or coming back. But it could.
Either way, I think she, and also just given what she had seen at the logging site and sort of the shock of that this would even be being done to people, while logically she knows that this isn't necessarily on her, there is still that kind of feeling of like, you know, did me leaving really cause just such these dominoes to fall in such an awful, awful way? And so she's just more and more, I think, anxious to see what home's looking like.
How well do you think Maeve is hiding this from the rest of the group?
Probably not as well as she thinks she is. I think Maeve has always been someone that I don't think the party necessarily is bad at knowing that she's not doing well, but I think she's just kind of doing things like trying to focus ahead, trying to forage ahead, and even if other people can see it, she's just trying to show focus of like, listen, I may be anxious, but like I you know, it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. You know, I gotta keep going ahead. So I don't think she's hiding it well. I just don't think she's trying to draw attention to it.
Okay, so I won't make you roll for anything to try to hide it. I would say that it's visible to everyone that Maeve is shaken, but she's doing her best to not focus on it. The rest of your trek through the Pallid Grove is mostly uneventful. Maeve can easily keep you on point, helping to avoid potential hazards or dangerous situations. This is the home that you remember, even away from your Nor, but it also has this feeling of being a bit foreign. It's like visiting someplace you knew as a child years later as an adult. There's some kind of presence, very likely related to the portal, that seems to be changing something about the grove. It's impossible to tell right now if this is a curse that might lift once the portal is dealt with, or if something goes deeper than that caused the portal to open. But during your trek to your Nor, it's clear that the grove is a much, much more dangerous place, and just as before when you grew up in these woods, it always gets more dangerous at night. The trees begin...
Finally, somewhere feels like home.
The trees begin to thin out, and the paths that Maeve is taking you along become more well-treaded. Some of them even have stones that have been placed to create kind of a paved road, if you will. And as you come across these made roads and get closer to Syri'laire, your home, Maeve, you start to see the deep ruts of wagon wheels. You can go ahead and make a survival check if you'd like to see how long it's been since fresh tracks were laying here.
Spend an inspo. That's just sad.
Okay.
16. That's a little feasible.
With a 16, it's definitely a few weeks old. Kind of matching up with the timeline from... Actually, let me just double check here really quick. Because I think I had mentioned that the people in the logging camp died maybe a week to 2-ish weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would say that these tracks are probably somewhere around 3 weeks old, maybe close to a month. So it's been a minute since, at least in droves, in mass, that the Pallid Elves have left here. You know, they've been leaving, at least the younger ones, a bit earlier than that following your departure from the Grove. With a 16... Yeah, that's about the majority of what you're able to gather from this.
Okay. These aren't very new. 3 weeks, maybe a month. Seems whatever happened here probably was about a month ago, and that's when most people started leaving.
When did you start leaving? Was it like 3 months ago, 4 months ago?
3 or 4 months ago at this point, yeah.
Actually,
I guess.
I think it'd be
actually
close
More
to
than that.
More than that, I'm sorry.
Yeah, close to like
5 or
half,
6.
close to half a year. Yeah, I think
Yeah,
you had been
sorry.
gone for 3 months when you met the Second Chances, and you've been together for about 3 to 4. So
That's why, that's why I just got confused. Sorry. Probably about 6 months now. It took me a good 3 months to meet where all you are at before I met you all, so.
Half a year.
Been some time. I'm not sure exactly when people started to leave. They knew I was gone within a couple of days, but looks like maybe at first we're kind of the trailblazers, and then this.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's not even your fault if the Walking King is roaming around again. If he's on the
Crawling
prowl, that's Crawling King, whatever. They're old gods. They have multiple names. Back in my days, called the Walking King.
no, he wasn't.
It was not.
Back
You
in
just got
my
deception.
day.
Roll deception.
He just got really old, so he started crawling.
Makes sense.
Back in my day, he was the jogging king.
And he had to go uphill both ways. No wonder he's
Right now.
crawling nowadays.
Now, yeah.
Rolled a 12.
No one believes you.
Shakes her head.
I think we all appreciate the levity, though.
Yeah, exactly.
So as you continue forward, you begin to see structures. You begin to see clearings. Maeve, would you like to describe your home at all?
I will do my best. So what makes Syri'laire a little bit different from the others is it's near like the big lake and river. So it's a little bit more in kind of at least in my imagination, kind of more of a flat land sort of high crops, high farmland kind of a situation. So normally, you would see kind of congregations of different homing situations. There is some kind of semblance of a temple somewhere, and then a sort of a very large opening. Like in Greek they call it a forum, just like a large it's like center of the village kind of a look. And you can, if you've heard her probably describe like all the freaking festivals they do, and you can imagine that during those times that area must be fully decorated and full of places and live areas. You can kind of see where even people probably set up stalls there. But otherwise, it's just small congregations of different homes with a few more bigger special ones.
And being that, the Pallid Elves are still elves, there are also elements that you recognize that remind you in some ways of Baisei Tile, where the homes and the structures are built in a way that sort of merges with or lives alongside the forest, as opposed to building in the forest. They exist sort of around them. I also think too that being that the Pallid Elves spent so long underground, that a majority of the houses also seem like they sit a lot lower, that the roofs are lower than what you would expect them to be. And Maeve would explain that despite being above ground, there is still an aspect of living below ground. Amongst the roots, that there's a lot more space to the buildings, to the living area that you don't see because it's actually carved out underneath. But for you, Maeve, much of it is largely unchanged, despite also looking kind of alien to you under the current circumstances. Your Nor is like a familiar story rewritten into a different genre. No children are playing amongst the trees. There's no stalls amongst the forum or around the riverbed. There's no adults keeping busy with their trades or daily chores. Even the green of the non-petrified flora seems to have been drained of colors, and you see that doors to homes hang wide open and motionless. There are crates, bags, boxes, and barrels that are stacked around as though they were to be moved, but their owners had to travel quicker or lighter than they would have allowed.
It's like a ghost town here. I need to see if anyone's here, if my family's here.
Yeah. Can you show us to your home?
Yeah. I will.
As you begin to move through the streets of your hometown, silent and undisturbed even by the thought of spirits or ghosts, finally your eyes catch one new addition, something that you don't recognize. Traditionally, when a pallid elf passes away before coming above ground, the bodies were burned and the ashes buried so that the crawling king could never dishonor the body. Once the elves returned to the light of Catha, the new tradition was to plant a tree where one is buried so they could continue their next life, bringing color back to the grove. But you all lay your eyes on a smattering of hastily dug, shallow graves. Most of them still fresh by about the timeline that Maeve had guessed, a month or so. Each dotted with flowers, most of them wilted, and a plate of hand-pulled bark with a name and prayer to Sehanine etched into it. There's about 40 of them here.
When she sees this, she just freezes and is trying to find somewhere safe to go coughing because she feels very sick right now.
So you all watch Maeve kind of dart off away from this site, making sounds of not
pleasant sounds.
disgust, but she's clearly struggling.
Yeah. Does Zana go after her?
I think there would be sort of a bit of a pause, and then she would, unless someone else immediately went to comfort her.
I think Roz would look at Zana and be like,
She comes over to you,
Here's your chance.
just puts a hand on your shoulder.
Sorry.
You don't need to apologize.
So much worse than I thought it was. Okay. She takes a swig of her canteen water and nods to Sana before approaching the group.
Would something stronger help?
I don't think alcohol is the right thing right now.
Do you want to look at the names?
She grimaces as she looks over, but then nods. I don't want to be caught off unawares.
She
while they're over there, Zealous is, Roz like, hey, Zealous, do you think you could, like, help the flowers? Since they're all wilting?
I can try. It seems the land is having adverse effects to the crawling king. excuse me, turns to Leo, the Walking King.
I think he said the
Yeah.
skipping king, didn't he?
Skipping
I thought it
King,
was the running king.
the Punching King.
What did that start?
Oh, I like that king.
the
Can we like call him
the
that?
frolicking king.
The trudging king.
Zealous, what would you like to try and use to see if you can breathe some life back into the flowers here?
I'm gonna kind of test the waters a little bit with Druidcraft first to see what happens.
Are you looking
Um,
to create new life here or to try and rejuvenate what's already here?
Rejuvenation of the life that is
Yep.
there.
So, using your druid craft on one of the flowers, you watch as it begins to kind of rise and straighten itself a bit. Some of the violet coming back to the petals and this bright orange center that it has. And then once the cantrip is complete and you kind of stand back to see what effect it has, within seconds it's drooping back down again and the color fading away.
The land, it wants to live, but something is keeping it from doing so.
Yeesh.
Lori's gonna walk up to Maeve, and if she's fine with it, they'll like prestidigitate or vomit or whatever it was.
I don't think she actually vomited up on herself, did she?
Well, you know, just the
You want to make a con
sweat,
check to see if
whatever
you were
it
able to
was.
keep it in check?
If you want me to.
No, you're fine. You're fine.
It was more like, anybody have those anxiety coughs?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah. If not, then Corey would just like squeeze your hand if you allowed it.
Yeah.
She would.
Zana has her hand in Maeve's as well, so if you want to take her other hand, the two of you.
I will take the other hand and I'll reach out for Zana's hand.
Circle?
Doesn't need to be a circle.
Yep.
Doesn't need to be a circle. The three of you, with Maeve leading, but also like the two of you, kind of like just letting her know like we're here with you. Walk up to where these makeshift graves are. Why don't you go ahead and make a perception check for me?
Okay. Oh. Okay, 27.
Scanning your eyes over the placards here, despite having recently spoken with your mother and knowing through her that your father is ill, for some reason your mind is still looking for Ashfall
Yeah.
more than anything else. And you do recognize a handful of the names on here. You were in a pretty high position.
Right.
You were training to become part of the council, so you knew a lot of people. But there's only one of them that stands out to you as someone that you may consider as someone you actually knew.
Right.
And that's the name of Melandra Riverspell.
Oh, shit. All right. Well, she will kind of stop at that and grit her teeth. Curious, do I recognize the handwriting of who wrote that?
Yeah, with a 27, I would say less handwriting, but like it's carved in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say that you probably recognize it as, if there's any writing on there, as Norrison's handwriting.
I think so. During this time, as we went through this, some people, Maeve would have probably, it's almost sort of like a ritual funeral kind of a feel, would have maybe mentioned like each name passing, like what she knew them about, to Zana and Corey. Nothing extreme, just like, oh yeah, I remember they're from, this family
Quick
and
little
did this.
memory of
Yeah,
each
yeah.
one.
Yep, they helped with this thing. But at Melandre, she does hesitate, grimaces, and says, when we last saw my peers, Melandre was married to Norison, my ex-partner. It seems she also was taken. She was a nice lady. I hold no ill will towards her, but it's all unfortunate.
I'm sure you didn't wish any ill on her.
No. Certainly there were times I was angry, but that was in the past, and he didn't deserve this. She didn't either.
I'm sorry, Maeve.
Thank you. My parents are not among these, and I don't see Norison either. So, well,
That's good, right?
it's people we can talk to at least. I hope.
Okay.
Thank you. We should see if my parents are still here.
As you continue on, Zana stays by your side and doesn't let go of your hand unless you take it away.
No, she doesn't.
If anyone spends any time looking into or calling into any of the homes,
Roz would peek into a few of the homes as we walk by just to make sure they're actually empty.
okay. Do you call for anyone or just checking inside?
She'd probably give a quick, anyone home. Most of them.
Give me a stealth check with advantage. You're obviously not trying to be loud about it. And this isn't affected by your armor, so it's not like it evens out advantage. Okay. So as you check into a few of them, you can't help but be reminded a little bit of how Dedrin was a bit of a ghost town. It's not quite the same. There isn't, dinners that were walked away from in the middle of it. But it definitely looks like people had, either fully packed but left the majority of their things, or were half packed and left most of their things. Leaving one home and catching back up to the group, there is a wagon that has a few barrels loaded into it, a few suitcases down next to it, and you see that there is a teddy bear on the ground beneath the wagon wheel. Now, victim to the elements over the past few weeks. But other than that, you don't find any signs of life here. Eventually,
I know they... Go ahead, sorry.
No, you go ahead.
I was just going to say, because I imagine you're reporting you're not seeing anybody, all Maeve's going to say is, if my parents aren't home, I know they mentioned about returning underground. Maybe people have already left.
Maybe. But it doesn't look like it did in Dedrin, at least, where people just got up whatever they were doing. These people planned to leave. They just left quicker than they wanted to.
As you make your way through your home and eventually come upon your home, Maeve, front door is slightly ajar, not fully closed. You open it with a creak. And if you'd like to take a chance to describe the place where Maeve grew up to everyone?
It's a very it is an open plan home, I would say. So but it's even though it's like the leader's home, it's only a slightly bigger than the others. This is no palace. There's an opening right immediately to like a sitting living room space. There, humble kitchen in the background. And just I think there is some kind of a basement section, but otherwise, usually it's just kind of the back rooms where bedrooms would be.
Yeah, I imagine that as you walk in, there's like stairs that kind of go down, and Roz, having looked into other homes as well, indeed, they seem to be sort of set down a few feet, and then in the back, further underground that you can't quite see from outside, there would be Maeve's room, her sister's room, parents, a study. Despite the shadows and gloom of no lit candles or a fireplace, and a brief chill of the circumstances surrounding your visit, closing your eyes and taking in a deep breath, the silence here is oddly right. You can almost feel the presence of your mother sitting near a crackling fire, or the feeling of knowing your father is just behind the door to his study. And suddenly, instead of the bristly fur under your fingertips, you feel the rough scales of luster as he pushes past Zana and Corey and puts his head into your hand to offer you both encouragement and comfort.
It's been a while since you've been here too, buddy. Place didn't really change after you left us the first time.
I gotta tell you, Maeve, being an elf princess, I thought you'd have a little bigger house than this.
I'm not an elf princess, whatever you call me. Clan leaders certainly had more responsibilities and more pull and stuff like that, but we still lived among the people. I think, as my father would say, we all lived underground once.
That's wise. I like that.
It could be wise at times. I just wonder what they took and what they left behind. She'll round to her room.
Okay. Heading into your room, opening it up. It doesn't look like anything was touched. You see some of the things that you had thought to pack when you left, still where you had left them. Your bed is made more neatly than you remember doing it.
That's fair.
I think you can tell, too, that there's an odd sort of indentation on it. It looks like someone probably spends at least some time in here sitting on the bed.
She grimaces at that one. I'm guessing Mom spent a lot of time in here trying to make sense of some things. There's the window I crawled out of.
I'd also say that with your high passive perception as well, you notice that up on one of the shelves there's a glaring hole. The place where you kept the unfinished quilt that you and your father had begun is gone.
That is surprising to her. She's gonna reach up to the shelving unit, kind of in surprise. I won't go through the whole story again. I was telling Corey this, but once upon a time, my father and I had a mini project we were working on together that was unfinished. I just always left it here, but it's gone now.
Well, then wherever your parents are, theoretically they have it.
Maybe they thought they could use the extra blanket or something.
Perhaps.
Remember, buddy, you ripped up the first one.
Sentimental.
Yeah.
Luster kind of buries his head under his paws.
I know. You were little and you didn't know any better.
He's up on the bed, by the way, in the same spot where he used to always sleep at the foot of it.
Yeah. She
Do
scratches.
you want to do a sending spell to your folks? Let them know where we are?
Yeah, I suppose that's probably the best idea. She'll take a ascending stone out and concentrate to her mom.
Mm-hmm.
We're in Syri'laire at our house. Where did you all go?
Roll a D100 for me.
Good. Oh boy.
Oh God, they've left the plane.
No,
Right.
that would be a D20.
Oh god, never mind. 2.
Oof.
Either that's definitely success or absolutely not. Depends on the.
Fireballs are cast within like 5 feet of you
Oh god.
in every space that is unoccupied by a person.
You hear your mother's voice, but it seems distant and distorted.
Hmm.
You can't actually make out what it is she's saying. Like there's some sort of interference.
Why would there be interference with a sending spell? It's not like she's on another plane like your family.
Somebody
know.
want to make an Arcana check?
I will.
Go for it, Hermia.
It's got to be the Sending King.
God damn you.
It's just like
I got an 18 plus 11.
Okay, yeah, that's plenty enough. Hermia, you would surmise that it may have something to do with the portal. Especially Maeve had mentioned that the location of the portal is very, very close to where the entrance back underground would have been. Obviously, none of you really know the extent or the study or the academics behind these types of portal, as they are different from even portals to the Feywild or whatnot. But if anything were to potentially be disrupting that kind of magic, that's the most likely culprit.
Yeah, I say it's probably the portals.
fair point. Well, if that's where everyone likely went anyway, I guess we're all heading to the same direction. And if we can close the portal, then maybe we can rectify some of this.
Well, then I guess we'll set up camp here for the night. I assume traveling in your forest is not a great plan at nighttime.
Not with everything going on, I wouldn't. Normally I think we could take anything, but I don't know what's lurking in the dark. We can
And
we can stay in my house.
we'll camp here tonight. We'll set out at first light.
There's plenty of spaces, and I don't know. I'll be in my room, but y'all can have at it. Just don't break anything, please.
Yeah, I'll just set up my tent and everything outside. I don't want to sleep in your parents' bed.
You can just go in the living room. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Before we go to bed, I actually would like to go to my dad's study if it's not locked.
Heading into your dad's study, this scene is a bit different than what you remember. Your dad was always a very tidy person, task-oriented, perfectionist, very organized. This seems to be the opposite. There's stacks of papers, there are open journals, there are letters that just at first glance you notice names from people here in your Noric as well as those from others. What probably draws your attention the quickest, though, is 2 letters right on the top of the desk where everything's sort of been cleared and pushed away. You see 1 letter addressed to you and you see another addressed to Lashandra.
Are they sealed?
They are.
So when she first enters the room and sees this, whoever's nearby, she'll just say, "Of course, he was still working, probably while he was ill. Mom probably pulled him away when he couldn't make sense of words anymore." And then she'll see the letters, and she kind of grimaces. And she'll grab the one entitled to her.
You can open it.
Yeah.
Pulling out the paper inside, the script is shaky, it's messy, and often indistinguishable save for the fact that you can guess what words he meant most of the time thanks to what preceded or followed it. But it says, "Dear Tymaevra, I can't imagine how this letter may find you, but if you've returned home to it, you've done so at great peril. Something indecipherable. Grove has been angered. Whether or not it is our fault, some more words you can't quite make out. We are suffering the repercussions. Those who leave shake the effects, and some of the elder families have gone to ground seeking more indecipherable words. Moonweaver has granted us for centuries. We will follow. More text you can't read. Any shape to travel, myself included. I write this in a rare moment of clarity. All I wanted for you, daughter, was a brighter future. Can't quite make out the words following that. One I was perhaps ill-equipped to provide for you, or blinded to by traditions. Another large blank. Selfishly, I wanted you to be something I knew others would be proud of. More indistinguishable text. Moonborn talk of you, how you inspire them. And in between more that's hard to read, it says, I am proud of you. And just before it trails off into more indistinguishable script, but for choosing your own path, I am sorry if I... That's all the rest you can make out. And I will send you that full thing.
She's reading this quietly to herself, and I think this is the one that kind of breaks her a bit. And she just kind of lets the letter fall as she sinks into his chair, and she just can't. She's just sobbing now. This is too little too late.
Are you,
yet...
like, are you trying to hide it, or is it just like you broke down?
I think she's not trying to, like, alert too many people outside, but I don't think she's necessarily, like, hiding it. She's trying to muffle, I guess, for lack of a better term.
Okay.
You know how sometimes when you're, like, super overwhelmed and you're, like, sobbing, but you're also like, I can't have people hear it, because if they hear it, they'll feel worse for them, even though they can obviously see something is wrong. It's like one of those.
Yep. All right. Well, luckily Zana
Silent
does.
screaming and all that.
Yeah, Zana
Yeah,
does
exactly.
have the passive perception to hear, and she comes in pretty quickly and kneels down next to you, putting a hand on your shoulder and one on your knee.
Now? He says all this now? When everything is ruined, when our home is like this? Now? Now he says this?
She picks up the letter.
Yeah.
And kind of scans over it.
Moment of clarity. Can't be that mad, but damn it, I want to punch him in the face.
You may still have your chance.
Yeah, he might be too sick to do it. I'll feel bad. Why did this have to happen? Why did all of this... What change happened? Am I the great change? Did I cause this?
She squeezes your shoulder.
Always just wanted him to say those things, but not like this. Not at the expense of all of them. Not at the expense of Melandra, not at the expense of our home being just torn apart. Like this. It was never supposed to be like this.
You leaving may be the only thing that saves them here, Maeve. You fearing that you leaving is what started the great change? Had you not, you never would have been chosen. You never would have met the rest of the second chances, and we wouldn't be here for you now in a position to stop this.
Goes around, goes around. Chandra should know. She needs to know. Why did this have to... What do they want with this place? Why... What did we ever do? We were heavily destroyed last time simply for worshipping a goddess, and now... I don't even know.
Zana gives you a sympathetic look and hugs you, but you can tell she doesn't really have the words and is just trying to be here to support you however she can.
She just hugs back and just cries again for a little bit. Once she gets her breathing a little more regulated, she looks down at Lashandra's letter, but just she pockets it. She's deciding, at least right now, that it's not worth reading. That's probably between her sister and her dad to figure out what's going on there. But that maybe she can always figure that out next time, another time.
Zana returns the letter addressed to you as well. Whether you want to keep it or not is up to you.
She looks at it, and she does at first consider just like leaving it, ripping it up or something, but she sighs and pockets it instead, deciding that regardless of what happens, or what she'll say out loud is, I don't know what's going to happen to him, if we'll make it in time, but if this is the one piece of evidence I need of his last words to me, I'd rather remember it be these than whatever I see him as.
What are the rest of you doing as night descends on the Pallid Grove?
Getting like a fire ready, making sure we have supplies for the night, just doing the things we know to do. That's what I'm doing anyway.
I would go out around the house, kind of take a perimeter, like what Triv usually does since she's indisposed right now.
Anyone else?
Leaf would be going through the cupboards and cabinets and just seeing what's Zala's and Maeve's house.
Found probably a lot of some pickled food, some jams. As far as like things that don't perish as quickly or as easily.
Reading the labels on all of their prescriptions.
Yep. Unfortunately, I don't think you can speak Pallid Elven, so you can't tell what any of it says.
I speak Elvish.
If anyone would like to short rest yourself up, considering that you haven't quite had a chance to do that yet, you may now. Maeve, don't forget about that special silk pillow. Did I ever tell you what that
Oh,
did?
yes. I just never linked it in the thing. Did I even put it in our inventory?
I don't have it in D&D Beyond yet, but basically the first hit dice that you use, you get to triple the healing of that first hit dice.
And we also have Orb of Cozy Nights, which I can also use in conjunction, which is just double the healing from your Constitution modifier.
Corey would offer to anyone to take a 10-minute short rest in the box. If anyone wants to.
I'll go in the box. Will you go with
Okay.
me? I feel like I don't know Gil at the level that it's okay for me
No,
to just show
yeah.
up.
Yeah, no, you can't go in there without me anyway, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hermia and Corey are going to pop into the box?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
My HP. Oh, okay. There it is. I'm so sorry. The pillow you got to. Could you say one more time what the pillow did?
Yeah, so basically if you just spend your short rest cuddling the pillow, you get the first hit dice you roll, whatever that number is, you get triple that in healing.
Okay. Do you want that, Roz?
I'm full.
Oh, okay. I guess I will take that then. Unless someone else needs it more. I think she just wants the pillow.
It's extremely comforting to just kind of have it in it's like it's almost like the size you are, so it's like one of those big body pillows that like it just feels nice having like a full thing to kind of hold on.
And if you bleed on it, it doesn't get bloody.
There is that.
I don't think that's how it works.
Maeve, could you
It
make
is how it works. We saw it in the other place.
charisma saving throw for me, please?
Is
I'm
this
sorry?
the waifu pillow?
Could you make a charisma saving throw for me, please?
Me? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, I don't like that at all.
Okay.
Did I roll? I will spend it to make it 20 if I need to.
19 makes
Okay.
it. Hermia and Corey, you
Yeah.
appear inside of the card box. You see in a reclined chair with this weird sort of glass like half bowl over his head with like hair curlers in a pink robe with bunny slippers on. And there's another Gil like fanning his nails that he has out. He sees you and goes, "Oh shit!" And it all just kind of like explodes in like a purple cloud, and then he appears there how you saw him when you had the dinner. He's like, so sorry, I didn't realize you were bringing guests over, Corey.
Sorry.
No,
Sorry,
it's no problem. And he snaps his fingers again, and quickly the void of just sort of darkness turns into like a nice little like cozy hole in the wall tavern, fully manned by barkeeper Gil, a server Gil, and then playing a piano off in the corner Gil. Take as much time in here as you need.
Hey, Corey?
And he quickly walks off somewhere.
Corey?
Yeah.
Do you think one of the Gills could, like, I don't know, like, say mean things to me or something?
What?
The Gills look at each other awkwardly.
No,
I mean-
don't say that because he'll do it, and then
No, I
it'll
want him
go too
to.
far. No,
God.
it's trust me. It's you'll do like haha, just some friendly roasts and jabs, and then
No,
you're like,
it
wow,
needs to
my
be, like,
deepest insecurity.
seriously crippling. Corey, I don't think you understand. I just... It's so quiet, Corey. I used to have
Oh.
always have someone there to talk to, and like he'd always like say like, "Oh, you're so dumb, Hermia," like, and now there's just nothing, and it's just it's maddening, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you could just we could talk to you. Do we have to say mean things though? I don't. I
Mm,
One of the gills
no.
comes up and sets down 2 drinks in front of each of you. He leans over into your ear, Hermia, and says, "You look like you would have live, laugh, love signs in your home." And then walks away.
That's
He
Pro-
was
what's the term?
just giggling.
yeah, I
Roasting.
guess if that
Roasting.
makes you feel better,
I mean, I guess maybe I like it so much just because that's how me and Lee were. Just kind of like
Yeah.
always making fun of each other and saying really mean, terrible things. And then watching like strangers just look at us in public like we're crazy.
okay, yeah. Uh, Hermia, what are you out here doing looking like a torchlight? I don't know. This is hard.
A torch.
Torchlight!
I don't know your ears. I just don't want to say anything really mean.
Oh, that's okay. Princess has been helping. She flicks me off whenever I ask her to.
You watch as 2 of Hermia's backpack straps come out in front of her and turn to face her like little hands and flip her off.
Thanks, Princess.
Gives you an okay sign.
I'm sorry.
Um,
I don't know if you ever lost someone. Like, I know you've lost people, but like with me and Leah, it was different. Like, we were like almost 2 halves of like the same person, and just not having him around, just I feel broken. Like I'm missing something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really just want to just go somewhere and cry, but I know Maeve needs us, so
Well, honestly, I actually wanted to go in here so I could cry and let it out and not do it like in front of Maeve. I
Hey,
just feel
guys.
really bad for her, and
Ye-
it's kind of making me worry that like, oh my God, like what if my family's home is like in ruin because of the Unseelie Court or whatever, and I've just been fucking around making cowl bear man shit and punsters, and Corey just starts crying.
Hermia gives her a
Mm.
hug. Hey, my home fell out of the sky and probably is doomed to like explode or something, but everybody's too stuck up over there to listen to anybody who's trying to help them. No idea where my dad is. Like, he fucked off somewhere and doesn't care about anything. So, I don't know. Probably goes to show you he never cared about me. And my mom is just kind of falling apart.
You can cry with me too,
Okay.
so I don't feel alone.
Hermia
Oh,
just
God.
burst into tears.
Yep. So the 2 of you just take 10 minutes, at least 10 minutes to get your full rest, but you can stay in here crying into one another's shoulders as much as you want.
Okay.
Meanwhile, back outside, Rosalind and Leo give me perception checks while you're doing a perimeter and kind of looking around outside for supplies.
Perception, you said?
Yes, please.
Could I interest you in persuasion?
I'd like to persuade things to make themselves visible to me.
2.
Roz, you're pretty focused as you're out, looking for things. Leo, seeing that Rosalind is kind of set on finding anything that you can use around the Ashfall homestead, you set yourself more to securing the perimeter, making sure there's nothing dangerous around, finding means of escape, things of that. And as dusk begins to descend on Syri'laire and the Pallid Grove, you notice a very bright single beam of moonlight that is breaking through the tree line and shining down perfectly and precisely on one single home. And with a 24, you see that there are corpses of creatures near, but not directly around the home. And you got just enough to see. You're not sure, but you think that you saw some movement in one of the drawn curtains of the home.
Without panicking, and with that knowledge, I'll turn around and start walking back to the house like normal, like I didn't see anything in the back of Roz's head. We're not alone around here. There's shit in all these other homes. And I'll walk back inside.
I would say
She
that
rushes back in all of them, because I looked in a lot of them.
this home is probably about 50 yards off from where you are.
I'll back in your head. Just come inside and we'll talk about it.
All right. She heads inside. You saw people in the houses?
Yeah, about 50 yards out, there was someone drew a curtain. Something drew a curtain. I don't know what it was. And then the moon's kind of acting weird on that one house out there. And I kind of point towards it through the window.
Rod's telling me, like, what do you mean the moon's acting weird?
Looking out and in the direction he mentions, like sure enough, there's like a single large beam of moonlight just around
Rob raised her eyebrows,
house.
like, oh, I'll be damned. The moon is acting weird on that household.
Moon's haunted.
The moon's haunted. Wait, is it
the
ruinous
back
or
of-
Katha out?
It's a blue beam of moonlight.
Okay, so
Look,
it's not ruinous. Okay, that's
One
we're
of
probably
the
fine then.
moons of Exandria is haunted. That is canon.
we had to
This is
learn.
not the one.
Okay. Yeah, no, the haunted one is the one that was a full moon the night that Heaven and Hell left on their mission.
Sure was.
Yeah, that was great. All right. You want to go check it out?
Do I
I
hear
do,
them
but
coming?
should we ask
Yeah, I
Maeve
would
about
say
moonlight?
I would say that by this time when they come in and start talking about it, with the exception of Corey and Hermia being in the box, everyone's kind of right here.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so May will have cleaned herself up a bit. What's this about moonlight and people?
Ross points out the
Okay.
window.
Do I recognize the home that they're pointing to?
Make a history check for me.
Oh no. Who lived there eons ago? Sorry. Good. Here we go. 16.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of interaction with them. There's a man by the name of Duerdo Hazelbrush that lived there. Much older, like mid to late 500s.
That's old man Duerdo.
His wife passed long ago before they even came above ground. He had 2 daughters though that you remember.
Okay.
And I will tell you that looking at this house and just the way that the moonlight's kind of shining down on it in the corpses of creatures that you know they're not people. Like, you can tell whatever those are like creatures of some sort.
Yeah.
This looks like the Moonweaver is protecting
Yeah.
this house in some way.
Probably want to check that out.
Yes, I think we should. Where are the others?
I think they're in the box. They said something about getting some stuff out. I don't know.
Right. I suppose we either could split up or wait till they come out and go all together.
The
I
box
don't know if
the
it's-
box is just sitting there, by the way, in the middle of the floor.
Ross
You
shrugs
like
and picks
knock
the
on
box
it
up.
like a door.
Is there a
What
door?
you gonna say? You're gonna pick it up and shake it?
No, Ross just picks it up to take it with so that we can go.
Okay. I would say
I'll start
that.
shaking it violently if we get attacked.
I would say, Corey, that you. Well, it doesn't like shake inside. I would say you can probably sense that it was picked up, or like Gil kind of like gives you the information that hey, someone's picking up our box. We're a mobile home now.
I'll just prestidigitate me and Hermia's running makeup, and then we'll just pop out.
All right.
Oh. She gives you the
Hermia's
box back.
eyes are noticeably puffy.
Ah.
Hey, are we
Hey.
what's going on?
Yeah, unless the two of you want to roll some sort of deception, I think y'all can tell that they were just crying.
It's okay.
And same with Maeve.
Maeve is not hiding it either, but she's
Yeah.
just more like composed, I think.
Roz just kind of glances at Leo and Zealous like, no worries. There's a house over there that looks like the Moonweavers maybe blessing it. And we think there's
Oh.
someone inside, so we're going to go check it out. We thought you might want to come with.
Can I
Yeah.
like look out to where they're pointing at the moon in the house?
Yeah.
Is it like some sort of like spell?
So you can't see the moon from here, because of the tree line. And no, you wouldn't necessarily be able to tell if it was like a spell or not. But just the combination of like how specific and like how precise this beam of light is, and the fact that there are bodies not quite like just around the light. If Maeve and Zealous want to give me another perception check just because of how good their perception is.
20 even.
30.
Zealous, you notice that all of the corpses have arrows in them. And it definitely seems like something from that house was shooting them or keeping them at bay.
It appears
Does he tell
that,
us?
It appears that all of the corpses have arrows in them, so whoever is
okay.
in that house is probably
Not a hag.
not friendly to outsiders.
Hag.
Or to monsters, as it were.
Yeah, I'm not worried about hags. I hope there's no hags here.
All right, well, I said we go check it out.
We'll just need to make our presence known. I don't want them to be shooting at any of us, or
Sure thing. As we start heading over, Roz goes, "Hey, yo!"
I'll do the talking.
You just shout out AO, eh?
Hey, yo!
No.
Maeve immediately has her hands up.
Rosalind, roll a D100 for me.
Oh my god.
I get to use the D100. 37.
All right, I'm going to note that down later. So you yell AO as you
I
are
look at you.
walking close, and probably the look from Maeve tells you, okay, don't announce the presence quite like that.
Hey, that's the international sign for it's chill, don't worry about it.
You know who here. I meant we
But that's not
appro-
the interdimensional
Oh,
one.
shit. What's Exandria's?
Um,
I thought it was AO.
Can I make a history check?
Oh my god.
Dang.
Yo, sup?
Yeah.
I just
Very
rolled 2 natural 20s in a row. The first was to see if they noticed / heard the international it's chill. The second was an attack roll, which they aren't shooting at you, but as you say that, and then Maeve gives you this look, and you kind of like, oh, and then as you look back, an arrow lands like dead between your heels.
See, they didn't shoot me.
That's because they weren't trying to.
Well, that's my point. It worked fine.
Shut up! You hear kind of like stayed like loud enough, but also in a way that you can tell they're like trying to be quiet. Who are you? Name yourselves. What do you want? Why are you here?
I'm Tymaevra Ashfall. I come in peace and with friends to help.
There's a pause. Make a persuasion check. I'd say your name carries weight and could be at advantage, but given the circumstances, it would have normally been disadvantage, so straight roll.
We need that sincerity
Well,
roll.
I normally make it. I know, right? I normally make it at advantage because of a special thing I got. So what?
Then go ahead and make it. Nope. Add a +2 to your roll. Then we're gonna
Okay.
do like stacking advantages, and so while they basically cancel each other out and then start giving you bonuses.
Okay, so no advantage, but +2. Only
Channel
just
me.
do 1d20 +2 then.
You can also channel someone if you'd like to.
Who can I channel?
+9 from me.
Okay, +9. Do I
Me.
just make up? No.
So it
Do I
would
just
be
make it up +9?
it would be
Or
11. It would be
11.
it would be 11 total.
All right, I'm channeling you, even
I'm
though I
plus
told you.
10.
You are? All right,
Yo,
Leo.
for persuasion.
All right, Leo. Sorry, I'm taking you instead. So +12.
Yep.
I'm plus 11.
Here we go.
Oh.
Okay.
Hey.
Yeah, there is.
I got some real authoritative behind that voice.
There is a bit of a pause before you hear. Hurry then, it's almost night. That's when they come out. Everyone inside.
What
Thank
comes
you.
out?
And I tell everyone to behave themselves as I take into the house, I'm guessing.
Yep.
What comes out
So
at night?
as you are all heading towards the house, you get to walk by now, and you see up close the sort of creatures that are out here. You do see a few of the gourdlings from the lumber yard. There are a few wolves, but something about them is off. There's parts of their body that seems hardened, almost stone-like.
Ooh.
Dark tufts of jagged fur. One bear that is kind of similar. It's like a petrification almost, but there's just this real dark corruption to it. And you also see a body that at first you think looks like it's human, but a quicker glance from like Leo, Zalis, and Maeve, it looks almost skeletal in nature and has funguses growing off of it. But all of you quickly pass through and into this home, and the door shuts. It is set up very similar to Maeve's, a sort of wide open, sort of familiar kind of family area. You know, there's a kitchen sort of off to one side, a fire that doesn't look like it has had anything burning recently, and then a few doors off to the sides kind of go further underground. There are 3 people that you see here. The first, Maeve, you vaguely recognize. Would you like to describe Rayella for us?
So, Rayella has, most Pallid elves have some kind of a palish, like blonde to red hair, but Rayella is more bordering on like powder blue. She's certainly Pallid elf, but she's got other kinds of features that almost remind you of like scales on just little small areas.
Yeah, there's also like a sea-colored hue to her cheeks and her lips that make them just a bit darker than the pale tones the Pallid elves you've met thus far.
But she's otherwise just kind of always has a somber expression on her face, I would say.
She's the one holding the bow nocked with an arrow that shot towards you. You also see a younger girl. She's probably a bit younger than what Corey is. She's back further, watching from one of the door frames with the door kind of half open. Bright honey-colored hair with gray eyes. She has this perpetual look of worry on her face. And then the third person, who's kind of standing, not behind, but is sort of between where this younger girl is and where Rayella is. Would you like to describe Norrison to everyone?
Fuck, what did he look like? I'm sorry.
I don't know that you ever gave me a specific
There is-
description, so feel free to make one up if you'd like to.
I may have to. Sorry, guys.
Ooh, Zana getting to see the X.
Yeah. Norrison has short cropped hair. His hair is a similar pale blonde with dark brown eyes. I think he's got kind of that. You can see kind of, I think at first, he kind of always had a bit of like that boyish charm look to him, but I think it's been a little aged given everything going on.
He's also got now, which he never had before, a bit of some facial hair going on, kind of like a not the full beard going,
Yeah.
but you know, he's got, it's kind of going down, coming in a little bit. He was never he could hold his own against non-trained type people, but compared to Rayella, like Norrison is obviously not a fighter.
Not the fighter.
And there's definitely a look of surprise on Norrison's face as you walk in, like he's seen a ghost. Rayella still sort of has this look of not distrusting, but just she commands this sort of confidence that, like, this is their spot. She's welcomed you in.
Mm-hmm.
She looks at you, Maeve, kind of gives a look to the rest of your entourage, and she recognizes you.
Yeah.
Explanations. And Norrison's like, you're back? And she kind of like, he kind of like comes forward a bit. And she kind of puts an arm out to kind of like stop him, to kind of be like, relax for a moment.
Right. This is my group that I've been traveling with. I introduce everybody. This is, and I will say, this is Rayella. This is Norrison. And
Wait, that Norrison?
what?
Ross says, completely socially unaware in this moment.
Yeah, he kind of,
Maeve elbows you.
he has a bit of a panicked look for a second, like she talks about me.
Oh my god.
What doesn't anybody who want to also just give me an insight check?
Sure. That as well. What the fuck?
Double nat one for me.
You don't get to know,
I
apparently.
don't get to know shit, I guess. Someone else could tell me then.
Yep.
That's
What was
fine.
it?
Insight.
Insight? 15 plus 7?
She's more distracted in getting Roz to shut up, I think.
So Corey, Leo, and Hermia.
Is Donna gonna roll?
As this moment is unfolding, I guess I could roll for her. Yeah.
She wants to.
She notices it too. Obviously, everyone here is surprised that there's other living people who aren't monsters here. But more so that Maeve is amongst them. That she's come back now. Despite that, there is an odd air of like quiet resignation about Norrison. He's excited that she's here, but the way that everyone is sort of affected here by this situation, the younger girl looks frightened. Rayella looks like she is kind of taken command here. You know, she's confident, she's in charge. There's a there's a calmness to Norrison, like he's accepted the fate here or what's happened. Like this quiet resignation, more than like fear or Rayella, who is determined. So yeah, Roz mentions that, and Norrison just kind of gives a bit of a confused, like, okay, I was talked about. Cool, I guess.
I elbow Roz.
Oh.
And then smile, just try to take a deep breath. I know my arrival here is strange, and I would like to know more what's happening, but I do believe we can help.
All right. In what way? I suppose the four of us have been here for a few weeks now. We didn't expect anyone else to return.
Well, I can explain more, but where did everyone go? I've been trying to reach my mother. I heard about people returning underground.
Norrison nods. There were quite a few of our generation and younger that left when you did. Carrie, Addie, amongst them. And then when the plight happened, and I'd also say that all of you can notice now that Norrison also seems to have like a layer of sweat that's on him. Compared to the other two, Rayella and the younger one, he seems to just be a little bit more under the weather.
Norrison's definitely hiding the zombie bite. He's got big hide the zombie bite energy.
Yeah, he does. He would.
And then once the plight began to spread, more left. Some started to go back underground, saying that this was punishment from the Moonweaver, that her protection didn't extend above the ground anymore. And as it got worse, more people either left the grove entirely or returned to the tunnels.
Why are you three here then? I see Sehanine has been blessing this place.
Rayella kind of looks just sort of generally up, not at anything in particular, but just sort of acknowledging. Yes, that would be, we believe, I'm not sure why, but there's a fourth of us here. Eduardo Hazelbrush, the man who lives here. And he points back towards the room where you see the young girl standing. That's Syri'laire. She kind of waves silently. Eduardo is dying from the plight. We're not sure how or why he's hanging on, but we think that maybe the Moonweaver's presence here may have something to do with it as well, but it's also been protecting us to an extent, as I'm sure you saw outside.
So why are you all still here if people have left?
I didn't want to leave while there were still people here. You know that Crimson Vine is one of the clan families here in Syri'laire. Although you also, I would say, you know that there is, probably not the truth, you've heard rumors of it, that Rayella isn't a full Crimson Vine, that she was born to someone else. People say that's where the sort of scaled look and those ocean hues kind of come from it. Norrison also mentions, when everyone left, I stayed. I stayed as well, for his words seem to trail off a bit as he kind of stumbles over them. Millie was. She was sick, and she couldn't be moved. And
I saw her grave. I'm sorry, Norrison.
He just kind of nods a bit, trails off.
I did hear. We did see, actually, Carrie and Adelaide not too long ago. So I...
Are they safe? Were they well?
They were well. They went to travel up to Syri'laire. They're healthy. They're okay.
Carrie is exactly as you remember her.
A nudge around.
He kind of cracks an
All
awkward...
right, you know what? I'll just go stand over here quietly.
He cracks
She
an
walks off.
cracks an awkward smile. When everyone started to leave, I tried to step up, become a person of influence. I thought to myself, how would Maeve handle the situation here? A lot of them weren't sure what they wanted to do. If they wanted to leave, if they should stay. And as more and more people started to become sick, Millie being one of them, she wanted to leave, but I had convinced her that we should stay and wait it out. That someone would come up with something. By the time it came time for everyone to leave, she was too sick to move.
Oop, your music's fucking up.
Okay. Rayella.
I mean, it does match the
Yeah.
right now.
It's very fitting.
I will say it's fitting. What's our nasty things right now?
Rayella mentions Syria here was separated from her family, one of the last groups to leave the grove. They were attacked by some of those creatures you saw. I've had to go out for food, provisions, scavenging, and I found her in the woods and brought her back here. It was closer than trying to take her to where everyone else had gone.
See. Okay. And this plight, this is a sickness that... When did it start? When did people start getting sick?
As her and Norrison kind of start to kind of count back the days, Syria actually speaks up. Back in Brusindar, it started in Amuntul, which is one of the other Nors.
Right,
in
one
the
of the
city.
Nors.
I have family there. They came to... They sent some of my cousins here when it started to crop up. So you would know that having started back in Brusindar, that is around... It's around the time that you all got together, so that was 3 months ago.
Ooh. And the portal, he's gonna point outside. When did that appear?
They all kind of give like big nods, like, yeah, that thing. We're not entirely sure. It's growing bigger every day, it seems, exponentially so. I think we started to notice it mid to late last month, but that's just when it started to peak above the treetops. It could have been there much longer, I suppose.
So, good news is, my friends and I here, we actually know how to close this portal. That is something we can do. I don't know if that will resolve the plight or not. You have to understand how these portals work is they are portals to other places, and usually things come spilling out. That's probably where these creatures are coming from, I assume. But closing the portal just means that whatever already came out is stuck here, usually. So I can close the portal. We can close the portal, but if anything is still out there, and I don't know if this plight is part of that, that will still need to be taken care of, I think.
All right. Well,
I can say also that we did meet an entourage of Pallid Elves in Guarden, and everyone was healthy. So leaving beyond the Pallid Grove does help people.
and you're feeling fine since coming here?
So far, I don't know how long that will last. We've seen some strange things, but that's about it. She grimaces. We've been having, I've seen strange visions related to the Crawling King here. Has anyone else mentioned something like that?
The three of them look at each other. You see that Syri'laire kind of shrinks back into the door a bit, still there, but the mention of the Crawling King clearly frightens her.
Yeah. When I was her age.
Do a little roll. But the two of them nod to one another. Do you think that he could be behind what's happening here?
I don't know. We've seen some strange things related to these portals, but not like the Crawling King, and we've never seen one this huge before.
So you're planning to head to the portal then?
Well, that was our initial plan.
Well, I need to at least try to get these two underground. We just haven't... It's dangerous for the three of us to travel, and Syri'laire hasn't wanted to leave Eduardo to his fate.
I can understand that. At the same time, you now have, well, the 6 of us.
7.
7. Sorry. 7 of us.
Well, we shouldn't travel at night, but so long as the Moonweaver's blessing holds here, we should be safe from whatever is out there.
Don't worry about it. If something does try and get in, Hermie and I will go crack some skulls.
What kind of creatures have you seen approach here?
Oh, I'm sure you saw the corpses of them out there.
Yeah.
Mostly seems to be wildlife affected by some kind of sickness. A few gourds with teeth. And one, I don't know if it was undead or what it was, but a walking corpse covered with fungus and other flora.
Well, we did see something like that here. Okay. Well, we'll have to figure that out. But yes, we have... My friends are strong. They can help watch the perimeter. We happened upon the lumber company.
Of course.
What's left of them?
So, oh,
They're all dead.
you see that both Norrison and Rayella give a kind of can't say we're sorry to hear it kind of
Right, yeah.
reaction.
Couldn't happen to nicer people.
Yeah. To be honest, they were the furthest from my thoughts, all things considered, but there was a while, or some folks that thought that maybe they might be behind this. Do you think that could still be the case and they just got caught up in what they were trying to sow?
I don't know. They we found evidence that they all died due to eating cabbage that made their brains explode. To put it lightly.
Okay.
I wasn't sure if it was the portal or something else.
Zana goes, was it the elves? Rayla goes, what do you mean, was it the elves?
What she's trying to say is, do you know, we saw that there was maybe some concerted efforts to prevent them from, understandably, taking more of our trees. I didn't know if either of you knew anything more about that.
Yes, some of the council had sent people out in the night to sabotage some of their equipment, but we did not put brain-eating cabbages in their food.
Well,
Good to know.
don't know anything about that yet. Either way, there's definitely something wrong with this land. Whether it's the disease or and everything else here. Okay. Well, I'm happy to answer as many questions as I can, but our plan is when it hits morning is to go to the portal and close it and see whatever else is causing some of these issues.
Yep. Close portal, search and destroy whatever's here. On to the next portal.
That's what we've been doing. Gives kind of a strange smile as these friends of hers are like, what have you been up to?
All right. In that case, we will make sure that we are ready to leave in the morning so we can at least get these two underground where hopefully it's safer.
Have you heard from anyone underground how they're doing?
No, not since everyone left.
Okay.
Syri'laire finally kind of speaks up and goes, we can't leave Mr. Hazelbrush here. We will figure something out. And you watch as she kind of disappears back into the room, the door closing behind her.
Can he even be moved?
No. I believe the only thing that is giving him the strength to fight is the Moonweaver's presence here.
Okay. We also don't know how much safer underground even is going to be, so...
I understand.
Okay. Alright. Second chances. We're gonna start some watches and perimeters for the evening.
Yes, ma'am.
Wes, can you take care of that part?
I would recommend staying indoors. We can keep watch out the windows that we have, but going outside will just draw more attention to us.
Well, we can... It might be a tight fit in here, but we might be able to borrow lodgings elsewhere. I kind of look at Corey and her card box. We'll figure it out.
I think we can all fit here. It'll be a bit tight, but it's safer in numbers. There are several other rooms if people did want to split up a little bit. There's 3 other rooms here that can be used, and then the central area here is pretty large. So let's begin. How would you like to keep watch? And both Norrison and Rayella are available for watches as well.
Norrison's looking a little sick.
Make a medicine check.
I failed.
You can see that he had
I can take a medicine check.
For everyone who isn't, just sort of like a general baseline, he's looks like he's running a bit hot compared to everyone else. Like he has a fever.
25 medicine from me.
Yeah, so with a medicine check, looks like he's definitely running a fever. Sort of like squinting and touching his head every once in a while. You anticipate he probably has some kind of like headaches from it as well. Suffering from something. Anyone who wanted to go in to check on Duardo, he is delirious. Syri'laire is in there with him, often by his side, trying to keep him cool, like a cloth, and she has like a pail of water next to her. They tell you he can't keep food down. Chokes on water whenever he's given. He's in a rough spot. So, Roz, you wanted to take a watch with Norrison? Is that what I was hearing?
No, she was gonna tell Norrison go to bed. We'll watch it tonight.
Okay. Hermia.
I think she's gone.
She
went to bed.
is. She is. At some point during the night, when you are deciding on watches, Syri'laire comes out and asks Hermia if she knows anything about the Raven Queen, and asks if she can help with Duardo, basically. And Hermia kind of reluctantly, probably giving the rest of you I don't know what to do, but no one's going to save me from this situation. So she goes in with the little girl. Zana would whisper to Rosalind and Tymaevra, if we need to send the old man on his way, I can do it peacefully.
I think that might be what Hermia's going to do.
Just let me know if I'm needed otherwise.
Yeah, well, we'll see. I mean, Hermia might just be doing rites.
Mm-hmm.
It may be he will be needed after. We'll see if when Hermia comes out, we can ask.
All right, who is keeping watch with Roz? First watch. All right, Roz is by herself.
Well, I'll go with her if no one else will.
All right, Leo and Roz. Second watch.
I'll take it.
All right, Corey. Anyone else?
Do you want to be with Corey?
Zana
Zealous?
and
Or
Maeve and
Yes.
Zealous get last
Okay.
watch.
Sounds good.
All right. So Roz and
Leo.
Let's start with both of you, please, giving me a perception check.
Probably should have split up Zealous and Maeve. That's fine. Hey, good job. Good job, Roz.
Go.
Glad you did it, because I got a 4.
Okay.
Well, 4 plus 10. But
Leo.
actually, I can't go below 10, so it's a natural, not a natural 20, a normal 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, sure.
Dirty 20.
Leo, as the two of you are keeping watch, standing and kind of checking out the windows while everyone else tries to get some rest, you feel a hand on your shoulder. How are you feeling as you are looking out, keeping watch, seeing all that you've seen now? What has Leo been thinking about?
Leo's been mostly worried about how we're actually going to close the portal. Like, he isn't confident that we have enough manpower to actually do this.
Mm-hmm.
So he's been kind of trying to put on a stoic face, like, yeah, we can, but on the inside, it's like, I think we're fucked.
You hear Leah's voice. Are you scared?
I think everybody is, aren't they?
They're young and they have a right to be. Are you scared?
Yeah. Like, we've never faced anything like this before. Also, how are you able to talk to me?
She shrugs. If you don't think that you can do it, why are you still marching towards it?
I've ran away from everything that's been hard in my life before, and I can't let these kids down right now.
And yet you think you may be marching towards failure?
Yeah. Probably marching everybody to their deaths. But be kind of cowardly to try to persuade everybody away from this.
She offers you a bit of a weak smile. Well, you managed to overcome everything so far. There's strength in what you're doing with one another. I think it's okay to be afraid. And I think that if you let them, they wouldn't mind being brave for you too. You don't have to hold them all up.
Yeah. I'll let them be brave when I'm old enough that I can't do it anymore.
Rosalind.
Hmm.
With a 21, you notice two things. The first, and you're not even sure at first if you see it, but the way that it lines up with like an old pole that has a few old tattered rags on it, which used to be a clothesline. If it wasn't lined up with that, you'd think your mind was playing tricks on you. But there is a tree out there that is slowly moving from one yard into another. Not towards you.
Just from 1 yard into the next.
Mm-hmm.
All right, great. I'll also make a note of that and keep an eye on it.
The other thing is you hear Leo's conversation. You don't know if he realizes he's having it, but you clearly hear it, including the end.
Oh god, the old man's losing it. No.
This lady also has voices in her head.
Yeah. As it ends, Roz waits a little while, I think. Or she glances over. That portal is huge.
Yeah. Kind of lights up the night sky a little bit, doesn't it?
In all the worst ways possible, yeah.
Wonder where it goes.
Who knows? So many different worlds. Keep wondering if we'll see one that leads to my home.
That'd be a convenient way to get you back.
She gives a half-hearted smile at that. But I couldn't take it.
But I mean, it's kind of nice knowing that there was a chance.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be nice. It's probably going to be a lot harder to close. Even the one that we saw in the cave that had been up for a while was harder than the other ones were.
It's true. We don't know what's pouring out of it either, which will make it even harder. Unless we can sneak around to the edge. If there is an edge.
Yeah. Well, we'll definitely try and scout it out. But we'll close it. We have to. We don't, there's no one else.
Well, I mean, there's always going to be someone else. We are replaceable. Maeve's sister's kind of proof of that.
I've been thinking about that. I'm not sure we are. Maeve's sister wasn't replaced. She was never in the position, really. She never closed a portal. She never even faced one, as far as we know. Sure, the goddess may have looked at her and said, you, but the goddess was wrong.
And I guess gods aren't infallible, but
Hey, I need you to do me a big favor. If you ever meet my dad, I need you to tell him that to his face.
what does he think? Tymaevra, it's the best thing since like sliced bread.
Tymaevra, no, but Tymora, yes.
Say what?
I think he's pretty indifferent on Tymaevra, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, sorry, I get the two mixed up.
No, it's fine.
My goddess.
He saying that Tymora was anything but perfect was blasphemy in my home. Everything was
How did
always
you-
part of the plan.
Part of the plan. Religious zealot.
That
You
would
said
be
he
my
was
dad,
a
yeah.
bard, or was he a paladin?
He was both, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah, both. A dangerous combination.
Never seen a singing paladin. And don't you start singing.
I can sing just fine, thank you very much. I learned from my mom, not from my dad.
One of the doors open, and you see a exhausted Norsen kind of come out and kind of gives a bit of a wave to you. I know, I should sleep, I should rest. It's difficult. You know, everything is just happening. And he goes over to a bucket to get some water.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you.
Have we tried any magic to see if we can fix this ourselves before we go, or...
Yeah, come over here.
He kind of hesitates for a bit and then walks towards
I'm
you.
a paladin.
I know that look that you have been giving me.
And what look is that exactly?
Look like if you had the chance to break my nose, you would relish it.
Oh, that look. Okay.
It's not
Yeah, that-
unfamiliar to me.
Look,
I think you're a little paranoid, but
I'm not gonna break your nose. There have been a number of people on this journey whose nose I have very much wanted to break. I'm not gonna hold anything against you. That's not my business. That's Maeve's. No, come here. She's gonna lay on hands and see what she can do to help him.
Okay. How many points are you willing to spend?
If she gets the sense that it's helping, like it's 5 points to try to cure a disease or something like that, but if she gets the sense that it's helping, she'll spend all of them. That'd be 45.
As you begin to put some healing into him, go ahead and make a religion or a medicine check at advantage.
You can conjure me for medicine.
I
if
would
you
say
want
I might have to
it.
channel someone because they're both terrible for me.
I don't know if Zelos has a higher one, but my medicine check is +7.
Okay. We're gonna borrow Maeve's medicine check.
Are you trained in
5.
med? Oh, okay, yeah, he's not trained. I am. Do you want to spend inspo?
So
Oh
hold
wait,
on.
sorry. That's with a +7.
Yeah.
18.
So 18's not bad. Take 10 points out, and I will say that you get the sense that whatever this is, you can't cure it, you can't rid it from someone, but given enough of your power or your ability, you may be able to help someone from succumbing further to it.
She puts a hand on his shoulder and just focuses and concentrates as she attempts to heal him, and yeah, she's able to do something for him anyway.
He does look like he's a bit better. And he kind of nods. Thank you for trying. You know, growing up, I was taught, and I always thought that you should never. The way that you live life should be so that you never have regrets. I know that I may have spoken of me. I didn't treat her as well as she deserved. I always wanted to strive for the things. I think that people should strive for the things that they want, even if they're not sure they can attain them. I always used to think that knowing you tried is better than not trying at all. And he kind of looks out the window in the direction of where you know those graves are. But these past few months have taught me that that isn't true, and that regrets in life will always find you one way or another. I'd take a broken nose from you every day for the rest of my life if it meant the people that I let down or hurt could be returned or mended.
Doesn't work that way, though, does it?
Never does. Been here for a lot longer than both of you combined, and that hurt never goes away. But if you keep on trying to live your life without regrets, you're not going to live your life. You're still young. You guys can make mistakes. We'll fix this one. Even though I don't think this is a mistake, it's just universe happenstance.
He gives a nod to both you and returns into the room he came from. Can you give me a D20 roll, Roz?
Oh, Norrison.
You had one job. You had one job to get above a 3, and you how?
Can I tell you, last night in my D&D game, one of my characters got knocked down, and she was starting to make death saving throws. 1 on the very first roll.
It's always a good sign.
Yeah.
Somehow survived.
She did survive, yep.
Wasn't even expect to survive, but still funny. I feel like that's what made the party safer, by the way. Just the pity of like, oh man, you rolled a 1.
Corey and Maeve.
Oh, I thought it was, well, that's fine. I thought it was Corey and Zana, but all that matters.
No. This is something different.
Oh, okay.
You actually wanted to roll low on that D20. Well, I guess
Oh.
depending, but the high rolls
Oh,
is what I
no.
decided to give the consequences to.
Oh no! All right, what happens?
Who would like to go first?
You there, Corey?
Hello.
Hi.
Hey there. Did you want to go first or second?
I guess I'll go first.
You got
All
it.
right. Thanks for-
Take it from Maeve.
Corey.
More drama.
Your rest is not a pleasant one. You quickly find yourself in a forest, but it's strange. It's not like anything that you've seen or experienced before. The trees are thin, but they rise high. The vines on them seem to be alive. The flora, the grass, the flowers seem to follow you like a sunflower faces the sun as you walk through it. These pale, dancing lights seem to bob just out of vision, like on your peripheral. When you look towards them, they blink out. You can't explain why, but something about this place feels like a distant home that you've never had a chance to know. What do you do?
I guess I kind of like rub my eyes thinking I'm just waking up. Do I seem like I'm myself? Do I seem...
You look down. You're in your changeling form.
Stand up and stretch. Hello? And I reach for my card box if it's still there.
As you reach for your card box, there isn't anything there. And you hear an echo back. Hello? Your voice. And then it begins to snow. But it's not cold. It's warm. There's a warm, hot breeze that begins to blow, and as you look up, you see that it's not snow, it's ash. You see things burning above you, and as they flutter down, you recognize them. They're cards. Torn up and burning as they fall all around you. Hello? You hear echo from somewhere in front of you.
Gil, this isn't funny.
You hear the echo. This is funny. Your voice again.
I just start kind of like pissed off laughing and just go, alright, what? Is it you? Eyeball guy? Huh?
Your laugh echoes back.
I think Corey is just like, whatever. I'm not scared. You've tried this already, okay? Been there, done that, and I'll just walk to wherever the sound is echoing from.
You hear echo several times. I'm not scared. And as you get closer, the forest begins to give away a bit, and you see these large gates that were maybe once ornate, something beautiful, but are now rusted, twisted, purled apart. You see a courtyard ahead of you. Do you enter?
Have I ever seen this place before?
You haven't, no.
I'm gonna try to activate my fly, if it works.
It doesn't.
And I just climb through the gates.
Yeah, easy enough at your size to find an area where it's sort of warped and twisted and pulled apart, and you kind of squeeze through. And as you look around this courtyard, you see the demolished statues of perhaps what once ruled here. You see a unicorn head decapitated near one. You see what looks to be a beautiful woman in reds with long, fiery hair, toppled over, a crown that looks like the summer sun behind her. The others in too much of a ruin to recognize what they are. And then up the stairs, you see that they lead into a throne room of some kind. I'm not afraid, you hear your voice echo from inside.
Corey, tears their gaze away from the statue. And I think they're scared that this might be some vision of home. And just starts running up the stairs into the throne room.
And as you run in, indeed, you see a throne room fit for royalty, but it is defaced, it is shattered, it is worn down, decayed. And there is only an empty throne.
Hey, I'm here. What? You're making a big show, huh? Trying to threaten us again? Well, come on.
As you begin to shout, you see that there are a few mirrors. And something seems to skitter or flash past them.
I pick up a rock and try to throw at the movement.
You throw the rock. Make an attack roll for me. D20. Add your dexterity.
It's a natural one.
It goes wide, cracks off the wall.
Shit. Okay.
You hear a whimpering. Coming from one of the mirrors.
I pick up another rock and I walk up to it.
Mm-hmm. You throw the rock at the mirror, or you peer inside?
I think I raise it, like I'm gonna smash it, but I do want to see what's in it first.
As you look at the mirror, you can see just off to the side of it. You recognize your shadow spawn is weeping, curled up in a ball. You've returned. I told them you would come back. They didn't believe me.
Well, Corey Spawn, what are you doing? And I just try to reach in my hand into the mirror.
As you reach your hand in the mirror, it goes through and someone else grabs it. And as you look to the other side, you see with red, tear-stained fur around her eyes and down her cheeks, shattered horns, in rags, you see Faye. Our liege has returned. The uncrowned, faceless Fae, you've returned. And you can now see yourself in the mirror. You have no face, Corey. There are just holes where worms are beginning to go in and out of them, and 3 arms grab your shoulders, the top of your head, and you hear a voice that says, soon. And you awaken in a cold sweat. Back in the house, back in the Pallid Grove, you see that Rosalind and Leo have just finished talking as Norrison walks away.
Yeah, I think Corey just screams when they wake up.
Oh, hey, you're okay, what's up?
No. I think I just, like, tearfully just explain to Roz what happened, and sorry, I know that we've already had these shitty dreams from fucking eye plague fucker, but sorry.
Hey, it's okay. It's okay, I'm sorry. She hugs you.
I mean, maybe it's the forest fucking with us.
Yeah.
I wouldn't try to put too much stock into what you saw.
He knows about Faye.
Okay. You should reach out to her and let her know to be on the lookout.
Why does everything suck?
Because we're heroes.
Yeah, and it sucks.
What's in glamour?
No, it sucks. This really sucks. I feel terrible for Maeve and everything that's going on with Hermia and everything that happened to Zealous and just sorry. I'm not trying to.
No, it's a lot. It's a lot to process.
Yeah. And
all of us kind of break at our own pace.
It never gets any easier either.
Yeah. Right. I'm gonna go call Faye, and then I'll take my watch. Sorry, guys.
You don't have to apologize. It's okay.
And if you need, I can take an extra watch if you need.
No, I don't know if I want to sleep, honestly, after that. But thank you.
As you go to call to Faye, Maeve.
Yes.
You sit in a room. It's a room that is fit for someone of your stature, someone of your station. This is a place that you have earned through hard work, sweat, and a lot of blood and pain. You look down at your arms and see the scars that riddle them. They were well earned. And now it is time to see to business. It's time to get prepared for what happens next, to show the world and all those who doubted you what happens when you don't fall in line. So as you awake, what's the first thing that you do to prepare?
I'm gonna see who else is around me. Who I need to command to do things, to delegate?
This is
there's
your
nobody.
chambers. So the
Oh,
only
okay.
ones here are you and your gear, your weapons, your armor, your trusty companion, of course, who you always have at your side.
Thought you were gonna say your harem.
What do I look like? do I recognize myself?
You look like yourself. You step in front of a mirror.
Yeah.
You have scars all down your arms, your face, your neck, your body, from what seems like a lifetime of proving yourself.
Okay. I'm gonna gear up and get out of the room, I think.
So as you begin to put on your armor, dotted with Twilight Dragon scales, you make sure not to forget luster. Putting the
As in-
head of your former friend at one point, the pauldron on your shoulder, so he's never far from you. Your final test to have proven yourself a champion.
Oh, I'm gonna be sick.
And as you grab your bow, your short sword, you open the door and step into the decimated field that used to be the Pallid Grove. Now burnt to cinders. You see massive holes bored deep into the ground. You see other champions of Torog standing at attention, waiting for you with several Pallid elves on their knees in chains. What do you do?
Yeah, go ahead, sorry.
What do you do?
I imagine there's kind of a weird point where it not quite disconnected, like, when you're in a dream, you're in the logic of the dream. But there is starting to be a bit of a what's
There's definitely a dissonance if you want to try and fight this.
yeah. I think she approaches, but then the minute she's like expected to pull her sword up, she's gonna try to resist.
All of those around you that seem to be awaiting you give you this sort of salute and in unison say, Twilight Tyrant, go ahead and make a wisdom save for me.
Holy fuck, but that's like metal as fuck. Wisdom, you said?
Yep.
Okay. 10. I'm just gonna keep it.
Hearing them call your name like that, showing you the respect that you deserve, it feels good. You never would have thought that being a champion of the Crawling King would bring you this much power, but here you are.
Pretty good. Yeah. So, unable to resist that, she lets the first sword fall.
And Norrison is no more. He should have recognized what he had with you when he had the chance.
Damn right.
You watch as one of the other followers of Torog picks up the next. Muscular woman, white hair. It's been beat to a pulp as is, and she just sneers up at you and spits onto the ground. Make another wisdom saving throw for me.
Yeah. It's just not meant to be. 9. It's not meant to
And
be.
with your sword fall, some old part of you probably finds satisfaction in the idea that now that she's gone, she'll be reborn in some other body, and you can find her again when she gets older.
Oh.
The next one is dragged up to their feet. She refuses to look at you. her hair, white hair in the way of those dark, black changeling eyes.
I'm gonna spend advantage. Just because more of like symbolically she'd be trying harder.
Make a
I'm not
wisdom
sure.
saving throw.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I get it. That's all right.
I was not expecting to roll a 9, okay? Okay, I was like, I'm gonna make you remember this.
I'll remember it, yeah.
Oh no, I still fail. Fuck, I cannot get this.
And as
That's
you drive your blade through her torso, you
God.
grab her chin and you force her to look at you. And you see the tears streaming down her face as you awake. Covered in sweat.
She screams, I think, at this point. Sorry.
Not more than 5 minutes after Corey has walked off, you hear Maeve suddenly scream as she awakens as well.
Hey, are you okay?
Uh,
In the water tonight.
Zana rushes to your side as
Just
you
reset.
awake.
I killed you, I killed you, I killed you, I killed you.
You didn't.
I killed you.
No, it was
What?
a dream. You didn't kill anyone. You were dreaming.
Maybe we should sleep in the box. This is.
Good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. Good stuff, he had me.
It's fine. You're safe now. She pulls you in close to her shoulder.
She is trying to breathe again as she is hyperventilating.
You feel her kind of patting and like rubbing your back and just holding you and repeating. Like every time you repeat something, she just repeats the truth back to you.
When she is not hyperventilating, she kind of wipes the sweat off her brow. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's a dream. Crawling King had me. I was executing people. I couldn't stop. I didn't want to stop. I don't know. Dream logic. It doesn't make any sense.
You're fine now. You're safe. We're all safe here.
Killed Luster. I made him into armor. I would never do that.
Luster's nuzzling up against you. He's crying too.
He just hugs like, I would never do that to you.
He had a bad dream where there was no more chicken.
Maybe it was natural causes?
I don't know. Called me the Twilight Tyrant. It's the
All right, that's kind of boss.
Oh, I was just serving the Crawling King. I mean,
That's less boss.
talk about nightmares, that would certainly be one of them.
Well, they're not
Okay, well,
real.
you're not gonna serve the Crawling King.
So sorry. I am so sorry.
It's okay.
Okay. I'm gonna. It's not my time yet. Okay, I'll try to not have a nightmare dream. I'm sorry for waking all of you up.
Fine, you don't have to apologize.
Zana lays you back
I was
down.
talking to a ghost earlier. It's fine.
I was hearing him talk to a ghost earlier.
What?
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 She just looks at you.
What did you say, Xanadu?
Yeah.
As Rosalind and Leo are going back and forth and like you're laying back down, Zana stays near you and puts your head across her lap.
Oh, she is clutching.
Mhm.
As she is clutching, she's going. Leo, were you at least talking to a friendly ghost?
It was Leah.
Leah. God.
Yeah, so that's why I kind of put a little bit more validity into it. But with everybody having things going on, it might just be the forest.
Well,
Zana
I don't know.
asks, so is this the first time that you've talked to her?
I think she was the one that guided me to the gauntlets when we were at the pass. And she's reached out one other time. Just guess I've kind of put her in the back of my mind. But I think I still need to resolve something with her.
Fair enough.
Corey, do you know what you'd like to say to Faye?
Still can't hear you.
Corey.
Hello.
There you
There
are.
we go.
There we go.
It's always the hello.
I think I just keep dialing her until she wakes up because she's probably sleeping.
Yeah, so, yeah, she would be. She answers pretty quickly as you kind of call for her. You hear, yeah? Well, hey, I'm here, Corey.
I'm so
Hey.
sorry. I
Hey.
don't wanna. I just wanted to make sure you're okay. Is everything okay? Are you having weird dreams, or anything like that?
No, my dreams are always really nice, especially when, you know, handsome and or cute Fey royalty visit me.
Yeah.
Faye knows what she wants.
The royalty part isn't important, by the way.
No,
But it's a
no,
nice benefit.
Why, are you okay? Are you safe?
Yeah.
Make a deception check for me, Corey.
Dirty 20.
Yeah. When you say that, yeah, you are. She goes, yeah. You guys are basically, you're like Wild Mount's Fox Machina.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess we are. Sorry, I just go back to sleep. I'm sorry. I just had a really bad dream and I just woke up and I was really anxious and I just want to make sure you were okay. So,
Yeah, I'm okay. Sorry, I can't send you good dreams.
no, just knowing you're okay makes me feel better. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Do you want me to hang up first this time?
Yeah. I think I woke you up, so I think you have that right. So,
Okay. Click.
does she say that out loud?
Yeah.
I think Corey just kind of like holds the girlfriend stone in their hand and kind of rolls it around between their fingers and quietly goes back to the group.
As Corey comes back, you see that Zana's now awake, with Maeve kind of laying in her lap. You up for a watch? She asks you.
Really, but hey, let's do it. Change lanes, go.
All right, sleep tight.
All right. Corey and Zana make perception checks. Oof.
Oh my god. Inspo. No! That's a 4.
Oh, Zana got a 2 + 9 for 11.
Oh,
We're okay,
I forgot to
everyone.
mention the tree.
We're
Shit.
good.
No, you can have
You would have
mentioned
mentioned
that there was a moving
tree,
tree
yeah.
out there. That is fine.
I feel like Roz would definitely have mentioned that.
Zana's just kind of watching you fidget more than watching outside. As you kind of hold on to the girlfriend stone, you eventually hear a light snoring sound emanating from it.
She didn't hang up.
I just kind of laugh and I'm like, even her snoring is cute.
Corey, you are a important and valuable asset to this group. But if you ever wanted to be somewhere else or be doing something different, that is your choice.
Is Anna saying that to me?
Yeah.
Kind of whip my head at her. And
Who'd you think it was?
I don't know, some ghost person?
Crawling king.
Why are you saying that?
Because I know what I would have given at certain points in my life when I was faced with choices that seemed impossible to make, and that I thought that I wouldn't walk away from. I know the kind of options that I wish that I would have had. And you have something that you want to get back to.
Yeah, I know. And I just like playfully nudge her. It's a little, well, I mean, Corey's not strong, but it's a little stronger than normal.
Okay.
And I just go, what's been up with you? Because that's a very nice thing for you to say, and I'm not saying that you saying a nice thing is weird, but you'd be the last person to tell me to just give up. So what's wrong?
I wouldn't see it as giving up.
You didn't answer my question.
What we're doing is it's going to kill one or a lot of us at some point. And the longer that we do it, the more likely it's going to be. And that is easier for some of us to accept than others. And I just want you to know that it's not just you, it's everyone. Everyone has a choice on if this is where they want to be and if this is what they want to do. And no one would blame you. I just want to make sure that you understand that. She nudges you back hard enough to make you tip over.
Okay. Look, I appreciate that. I guess things just really are gonna be like this for a while. And as much as I want to, I don't want to keep running away.
I understand. I don't think that it's going to be... She kind of pauses. It's going to get bad. Because I don't know if we can close that portal. So it is. It's going to get worse. But... What was it, like 5-6 days ago that we were in that little town with your girlfriend, with Faye? Another night like that could be 5 days away.
I just don't know if... I don't know if it's fair for me to put her through this, though. Like, we barely just started, and look what's already happened to Maeve's family and her home and Hermia's, and...
She nods. Before I met all of you, well, you saw one of them. You saw Mira, and before Mira, I was with someone named Aurora. She was an Asimar. She grew flowers in a church of Palor. She didn't know what I did exactly, and it got her killed. Just like it did Mira. And I know them and Maeve, if I tried to tell her that it's not safe with me, would tell me that that's their choice to make. And even if you think that not being in Faye's life would save her, what's happening here is still happening, Corey. So, knowing you and knowing how much you feel about her could be the only thing that does save her.
Maybe. Yeah. I know that you think you've done some things, Anna, and you're a good person. And take it from another changeling, I guess. I know how easy it is to hate ourselves. But if someone like Maeve can love you, that means something, right? Oh shit, wait, did she not say that?
No,
I don't mean to assume.
She hasn't, but as a changeling, you know that we can be whatever people need us to be. Being a good person, being a bad person, being a lover, being a villain. None of those things are mutually exclusive. And tomorrow, we're going to be heroes. Deal?
Just kind of look at her. I just like fake retch and be like, ugh. Alright, we can't have too many moments all the time, okay? I can't.
Alright, great.
Cool.
With that, the end of your watch comes to. Maeve, you and Zealous are awoken.
Should give an appreciative smile to Zana and kiss her cheek before being like, anything happened?
Nope.
Corey has a shit-eating grin on their face.
Maeve will just
And-
look between the two of you and go, all right, spit it out. What happened?
Even Zana looks at you like she's confused as well.
Nothing. And I just tackle Zealous awake.
Ah.
Like, what?
Good morning. I have had a very restful stasis. Has everyone else have a restful stasis as well?
It could have been better, but I'm alive.
Did you have a
Wonderful
bad
to hear.
dream too?
Yeah, I did. Unfortunately. But I'm okay. No, Luster's not made into armor, I'm not following the Crawling King, and I didn't execute my friends.
Holy shit, Maeve, that's heavy.
I don't know how else to explain it.
And
No,
also very
okay.
specific.
I know. Yeah, I didn't tell Roz how I just cleaved her in two. I didn't think she'd appreciate hearing that.
Oz might have respected it.
The right context.
Wait, how did you kill me?
No, I only killed Norse and then Roz, then Sama.
Wait, you had a bad you had a villain dream about Norrison before me?
What do you mean before you?
Like, I wasn't even there? Like, the bad guy doesn't think that I'm that important to you to include me in the dream? And you dreamt about Norrison?
I don't know how the dreams were. I'm sorry. The next time I have a villain dream, I'll make sure to also execute you.
I mean, I don't know, just be nice.
Listen, dreams are strange and discombobulating. I'm sure if had it continued, you would have been included. If it makes you feel any better.
I'm sure it's fine.
You had a bad dream too?
Corey frowns. Yeah, they know about fate, and I guess, yeah, they kind of know about, my family, too, so that sucks.
The Plague of Ice talked to you?
No, it was just like another fucking vision, you know, so cinematic, and then didn't even have the balls to show up.
Well, maybe it might be good to think that it's a bad dream. We can have those. Well, I don't know if I can. But still.
Yeah, I would say, Corey, that due to a lot of the other discussions around the Crawling King and some of the imagery that you saw, I think that you would know it wasn't the Plague of Eyes that did this.
Okay.
That it either is just a nightmare that you had, or it was probably knowing that Maeve also had one, that it's being influenced by the Crawling King in some way.
And well, he kills everybody, so
Yeah,
I know that's not.
he sucks.
Tell me about it. He has caused generational trauma in my family for years.
No, yeah, I definitely picked that up. I hope you're feeling better, Maeve. Do you want me to send you a dream?
I have to stay awake for watch, but thank you.
I boot my own head. I'm like, okay, then when you go back to sleep, it's just gonna be unicorns, puppies, and rainbows. And Lusters.
Sounds good. Alright, get some sleep.
Okay.
Add attention.
Rayella is also awake at this time, too.
Good to see you, Rayella. I know it's been a really long time. Since you led around shy little me around the celebrations.
And now look who's become I don't know if hero's the right word just yet, but you're definitely a symbol for some.
Leader of the people.
Zealous.
She kind of gives a curious look to Zealous. I've never met one of your kind.
Zealous, if you want to introduce yourself.
You're not an
Yes.
automaton, right?
Not exactly. Or an aromaton. I am.
That was the word I was looking for. My mother told me stories about ones that she met along the Menagerie Coast.
No. We're not quite sure exactly what I am. Seems that the Wild Mother has gifted upon me something special, so I am quite unique.
She kind of gets a little bit closer to you and holds her hands out towards you and goes, "May I?" Like she wants to like kind of like touch your face or like just kind of like feel you.
By all means.
Okay. She just kind of runs her hands gently across your face. Do you feel like pain or, emotions?
Unfortunately, yes. I do feel many emotions.
She kind of smiles a bit as she pulls her hands back. I admit I was thinking that you kind of had a bit of a air of sadness about you, but I also thought that, I might just be projecting. You said the Wild Mother?
Yes. My creator initially created me, but the Wild Mother, I suppose, infused me with a soul, if you would like to call it that.
So you can talk to trees and stuff?
Well, given enough practice, we all can talk to trees.
All right.
You just have to open your ears and listen.
He is skilled in druidic ways, however, despite being as he is.
I knew a woman. Well, I heard of a woman from Amantul who was a druid, and people said she could talk to the land and ask it for things. What's the weather going to be like? Where are herds migrating to? Once we're done here, once we get Norrison and Syri'laire to our people, and y'all close the portal like you said you were going to do, can you locate someone through the Wild Mother?
Yeah, yes, I believe so. Do you... Depends on what you are
I guess
looking.
Mostly my father was an elf from the seas, and mostly I just want to know if he's alive and where he is. If we
It may
survive-
take a few attempts, but it should be able to be done. Do you have any articles of possession that he used to own?
You watch she kind of puts her hands up to something that's around her neck but under her clothes. They do. So I guess if if I survive this and you survive this as well and you don't mind, I'd like to know where he is so I can find him.
Well, if it's any consolation, there's a great chance that we won't survive the night, so there's no time like the present.
You'll have to forgive Zealous. He can be a little too logical sometimes.
I think
Oh, Maeve, there is no such thing as too much logic.
I think I'll wait so you can conserve your strength.
Very well.
Maeve and Zealous.
Yes.
Perception checks, please.
You
and
got
fuck
it.
I will have Rayella make one too. Just 3 perception checks at advantage.
And she's got like similar roll as I do, so.
All right, cool. She rolled a natural 20.
For a total of.
A lot. Okay. Oh, you want to know if she beat you? Yeah, she beat a 22.
Yeah, she did. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to know if she beat Maeve.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
she
beat.
did.
She beat Maeve as well.
Okay.
She did.
So as all of you are kind of watching, you watch as she begins to point things out to you. Like you kind of like you didn't necessarily miss what she saw, but in some cases it was a matter of, is that something we should be worried about? Was that just like the wind blowing something? Is that a creature? And she's like, oh yes, those are creatures. Watch for these, watch for that. And you can tell she has definitely probably been up more at night watching the things that are out here compared to definitely more than Mr. Hazelbrush for sure. But the night does pass uneventfully. Maeve, will you please roll
Oh boy, yeah.
a charisma saving throw at disadvantage?
You're cruel. I'm gonna spin and spin to make it normal.
Before she rolls, she just inches a little bit closer to Rosalind for 10
Just
feet.
gonna
Okay.
sit over here.
I was unconscious, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that doesn't work, right?
Do you have to be awake for your aura to work?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, if you're making like, I think, make sure. I think so.
We'll check, cause I need that bonus.
You are not near her, so go ahead. This is a
Slap
a
Rosalind
bit-
awake quick.
Yeah, this is a bit different.
15.
Yeah, while you are conscious.
Okay, cool.
No.
I am also going to make a roll for Norrison, who, thanks to Rosalind's lay on hands, does do this at advantage. Good thing too. One of those was a natural 20. And then we're going to make one for Syria, who also rolled a natural 20. Wow.
Like a natural 20. That's okay.
Maeve,
Yeah.
as you are all keeping watch, you start to feel warm.
Oh god.
You find yourself wiping beads of sweat away from your head. You probably didn't sleep well. You have a bit of a headache, slight fatigue. You have a -2 penalty going forward to ability checks, saving throws, and attack rolls. Basically anything. Basically anything with a D20 is a -2.
Well, my charisma saving throw is +2, so this is gonna go great.
As stage 1 of the Pallid Plight begins to set in.
Is it plight or blight?
Actually, I have it here as the Pallid Plague, but I kind of like plight. No, we're gonna say plague.
It's a plague blight?
As stage 1 of the Pallid Plague begins to set in for you. And that is where we will end tonight's episode.